Hey Sagittarius, this is your general tarot reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of February. Sagittarius, let's do this thing, let's do what we always do. We'll shuffle the cards and wait on the right ones to come out. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energies that you may feel throughout the month. So, we're leaving that big lunar eclipse, the Leo lunar eclipse that happened at the end of January, and we're still feeling a little bit of the effect of it. And for you, it happened in your 9th house, Sagittarius, where perception is everything. So what you may have found as we leave January and go into February is that you're seeing things from a whole new point of view. There could have been a real waking kind of moment where you said, wow, I actually know a lot more about some particular subject perhaps than I thought I did. Or I'm able to see something from a whole new perspective. And maybe the gifts and the talents that I have, if they can be opened up, they can also be brought back down to the marketplace, maybe to be taught, maybe to be sold, maybe to be shared with other people. And there's a moment where you've also felt that you need to reconnect with the ordinary person, reconnect with communicating new, fresh ideas. Because at some point with the lunar eclipse there could have been a real moment for you, Sagittarius, where you thought, I've spent too long believing in a certain thing, too long living my life with a certain code, like a certain moral code or spiritual code or a certain philosophy about things, a kind of higher ideal about the way life ought to be, or spirituality or the universe kind of ought to be. And there was a moment where you thought, I think I've gone too far. I think I've just unplugged myself from the mainframe a little bit too much, and I'm feeling a little bit stuck in a kind of ideological or educational rut. Time to go back down, come back down from the mountain of the gods and get back to finding out what the people are at. What are the new fresh ideas? What are the new inspiring things out there? What are the new pieces of the puzzle that can come together to broaden this beautiful Sagittarius perspective, which ultimately is always designed to give you that sense of freedom, to give you that sense of being able to be fair from a higher moral place. But how can you do that if you're out of touch? So it's about reconnecting and getting back in touch with the movers, the shakers, the things that are happening. Now, for some of you, it could mark a point where you suddenly realized, as I said, that you knew a lot more about a certain subject than you thought, and it opens up, and you might want to maybe learn even further about that. It's a moment of digging in, getting books, going into the internet, discovering, finding more information, and then also sharing that. So it could be a moment of going back to classes or going back to teach. For some of you, yeah. Either way, the perspective has changed in your life and there's no going back. You will never be able to see things again in that old light, because you're going to see further now. You're going to up your game, up your skills a little bit, yeah. And you're going to kind of see it as kind of personal investment to do that, brushing up your skills, brushing up your connection with life again, with being part of the game again. And it's an investment, and you feel it's a wise investment. Now, Sagittarius, everything you do has to have that aspect of it being wise. So you know the wisest thing for you to do now is to brush up your skills, is to get reconnected, and is to get communicating, learning, studying, knowledge. Go, go, go. Show me more. Teach me more. I want new skills. And I want to be able to use these skills to share the wealth of knowledge that I have. So that's gorgeous, gorgeous energy with the Sun and Mercury in your 3rd house, making that happen. So the start of the month is all a bit go, 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 go. Your mind is on it. Your mind is on feed me the information. I want to know more. I want to speak more. I want to share more. So it's a good place for you to be, Sagittarius, in that zone. I think you kind of enjoy it, so it's good. It's good to be mind blown every now and then. Now, February 3rd, Venus, the goddess of love and money, moving into Capricorn, and she's quite happy there, and it's in your second house. So this could be a real time, Sagittarius, where you just want to spend, buy a bunch of things, maybe buy a bunch of educational things, buy new books, buy new computers, buy new cell phones, buy new media technology, because you want to up your skills. You need to up your game. So that could be really happening. But it's a great time for those of you who are really taking your money seriously, you know, because you've Saturn and Pluto in the second house too, and they're saying, take your money seriously, and you're doing it. But now it's a moment where you're kind of releasing the reins a bit. You're taking your money seriously, but you're also recognizing that there's a time where you need to spend. So if it's a time where you maybe need to borrow some money for something that you want to do, maybe some short travels that you want to do, going back to classes, buying these books, getting back in touch with people, or doing something where you're engaging with people with buying and selling, anything like that, connecting. You need to have everything, all the equipment, all the tools, and you are probably wanting to spend money. So like I said, if you need to borrow money, it might be a good time to do that. Or, you know, spend a few coins, and you're saying, what coins? Holiday season took all my coins. I know, but you'll find it, you'll figure it out. It kind of flows a bit easier in terms of your finances, and also in terms of your self-esteem. Venus is building up your self-confidence and self-esteem in such a nice, healthy way for you, Sagittarius, that she wants you to see the value of yourself. And maybe learning these new things and communicating these new things and learning new skills does help you increase your sense of self-value. So it's maybe worth spending a few coins on doing that. Who says money can't buy self-value? It seems in this case, the things that you need, the knowledge that you need might actually, you know, be worth that investment. Now, it's February 4th, new moon in Aquarius in your third house. Again, the third house, where we communicate, where we study, where we learn new skills, where we want to know more, you know, talk more, learn more, communicate, connect more. It's all about that. So this could be a real moment where you're opening up into your future new activities and new ways, excuse me, Sagittarius, and new ways to communicate. Because you don't want to be silent like a monk anymore. You don't want to be living in a kind of a tower of perception anymore. You don't want to be so far removed from people anymore. You want to start diving back in. And that's beautiful. So February 10th, Mercury, the one who rules our intelligent mind, is going into Pisces in the fourth house. So it could be a bit of a tricky time. On the 18th, the sun goes into the fourth house too. I just want you to be aware, Sagittarius, that if you find that you aren't getting enough peace and rest and privacy at home, don't get all frustrated about it and don't get annoyed about it. It could be that people are coming and going in through your house or invading your privacy now that you're talking and communicating more. It could be that your phone is going all the time, that you've no quiet time at home. You might be just study. Learning. And don't get so frustrated, because just know that this is a phase that will pass towards the second half of the month. As I said, it just might get a bit, oh my God, I've just no time to myself to sit down, have a cup of tea, take a shower. I've no time for myself. How did that happen? But don't let it trigger you. Don't let it trigger you, because it seems what's on your mind is the need to kind of organize the spaces in your home, organize your privacy better, organize getting a kind of little area where you can just relax your emotions a little bit, and they'll be hard to find. So don't panic, my love, okay, when that happens. It will pass. Just do your best. Do your best not to be triggered by family members too this month. They certainly could be triggering you. People who they frustrate you by kind of beating around the bush, or kind of being a bit forgetful, or not having their shit together, or not being straight with you. That will piss you off. That there'll be an undercurrent of emotion and you're saying, this is annoying me now because I need you to come straight out with this. So again, don't allow yourself to be triggered by that, Sagittarius. Just retreat a little bit and think about all the new people that you're meeting, all the new connections you're making, and let that be a source of interest for you this month that takes your mind off some of the maybe heavier stuff going on in your family life, or with people who may be wanting to invade a kind of your private moments. People who want, every time, like I said, every time you choose to sit down to do something privately and at your own leisure, somebody will demand something from you. So again, don't let it get to you. Just don't let it get to you. Now Mars on Valentine's Day, February 14th, is going into your 6th house. And again, this is a great time. Your mind is just going, it's moving, and very focused on all the things we've just spoken about, learning new skills, trades, and so on. And this is a moment of feeling busy in organizing, so much energy in organizing your home life, organizing your family life, organizing documents, organizing. You're going to be kept busy. You're going to be kept moving, Sagittarius. A lot of energy and enthusiasm too, going into the work that you're doing. Whatever you do on a daily basis, whatever you wake up in the morning and get stuck into, that's going to get a new lease of life. And also in terms of your health, you might want to really start getting enthusiastic again about new health systems, new ways to approach your health, new gym memberships, new activities. You want to get your body active, get it moving and get it healthy. You might be so interested in learning all about nutrition, diet, exercise, anything like that, because you want this vehicle to be super fit to take you through to this expansion of the next part of your journey, which is learning, studying, opening it all up and seeing where you can go. So it's active, it's busy. Now, a lot of you might be putting a lot of energy, now we're going back to the money issue, a lot of energy now into finally getting a budget together, finally organizing money in, money out, money saved and money spent. Because if you have this level of control over your finances, it gives you the freedom to not have to worry about it anymore. That you know that you always have a little bit of money to dip into because you have a system in place now that has been putting money aside. And you have a system in place that's always covering your expenses and always working towards saving for a rainy day in the future. So it's all systems and things. And you're saying, my God, I'm sounding like a robot for February. What? It's all systems, organizing systems, learning, studying, download. Yeah, it's going to be a bit like that. But you are also going to be very pleasantly focused on how it makes you feel, because what it will do, it will make you feel energized, and you're in that zone to be energized. Now, it can get a bit wearing towards the end of the month, Sagittarius, and that's why I was saying to you, don't let it freak you out if you can't rest, if you're being pulled and dragged everywhere, and if people need you, I need you to be here, I need you to be there. Just, again, go with it, because, as I've said to you, it's just a moment, it will pass, but you'll get something from it, okay? Now, February the 19th, full moon in Virgo in your 10th house of your career, of your responsibilities, of your duties, of where you're seen as a respectable person. And it's in Virgo, so maybe it's a lot to do with your work and career, where something has to change, new systems have to come into place, new ways of doing it, new programs. I did say you might be getting new operating systems like cell phones, computers, things like that. It's like you need to put away the old way, the old system of working, and start again with a new system. You know what, it's just like systems, everything is changing. The perception, the system that you had that kept you perceiving the world a certain way, that system is dying and a new system is taking place. Being with your workspace, with your health, with how you go through your day-to-day life, that old system is going and a new system is taking its place. Some of you could really, at the end of the month, be totally pissed off that you feel the need to really change your whole career direction entirely. You're forcing yourself out of some sort of rut, Sagittarius, and it requires this kind of precision, system kind of vibe, and making you feel uncomfortable a little bit with the kind of energy there in the fourth house, saying, no, come on, we're going to keep you uncomfortable for a little while until you get these systems moving in your life and get yourself pointed in a new direction. So it pays off in the end, Sagittarius, because by the end of it, what you have is that new direction, and what you have is the motivation to reconnect with this existence, this life, these people, this world, and learn more. And you will always benefit from that, my love. Always, always, always. So, yeah. I will say February 2nd, do try not to get a little bit pissed off when you want to do something fun, a fun event, a pleasurable event. And maybe in it, you might find that you don't have enough money to do that, or you might be challenged financially to do this one fun event. Or on another case, there could be somebody pulling a bit of a power trip, not wanting you to experience something fun. And don't get angry about this, don't get pissed off, don't get annoyed, don't get challenged by it. It's just something that you should let pass. So that's one of the big ones I just want to say to you there. Don't let it annoy you. Now, a few cards coming out finally, because we only had one card. Balancing, balancing, balancing. Yeah. A few others coming out there. The High Priestess. Yeah, new wisdom, new knowledge. It's what it's all about, my love. Learning new wisdom, new knowledge. And you might be forced and pulled and dragged, kicking and screaming by the universe to kind of get into this new system. But as I told you, it will be worth it. It will all be worth it. Yeah. A few other cards. New truth. You see, it's all new. It's all, you're waking up to new systems, new ways of perceiving yourself. Oh, and there was one card turned over there, and that will be your last card. Okay, Sagittarius, let's do this thing. Let's see how your systems are operating this month. Okay, and here, ta-da, is the great big overview. So you have recognized that you need to reinvest in your life, maybe spend a little bit of money on upgrading your skills, upgrading your knowledge, upgrading your systems, upgrading your cell phone, upgrading your life. And, excuse me, you do see it as an investment. You see it as a shift in gear, recognizing that a victory will come when you change tack a little bit, when you kind of go with a flow a little bit better too. Not to be resisting life either, because with the lunar eclipse in the 9th house, there could have been a real wake-up call where the universe might have said, I know you have a version of life or you have a belief about life, but is some of it also trying to shield you from life? Trying to distance yourself a little bit from life? Do we know the difference here? So the balance kind of is coming where you get to know the difference and you get to reinvest in yourself in a way that pays off, Sagittarius, because that's ultimately the goal, to make it pay off for you. You know, that's why we have these beautiful systems of belief, or the knowledge that we have, the things that we've studied. We have them ultimately, so in some way they bring us a wealth in our life, be it financially in some cases if you teach it or share it or, you know, use it to make money from it, but also to be a source of a real inner wealth for you, so you can continue your life feeling that you're constantly growing and constantly emerging and constantly blossoming and being the cutting edge and the higher end of perception, so to speak. So you're investing, you're taking the time to study, invest, and it will pay off. It's a gear change, I know, but it will pay off. Because ultimately what you want is you want to feel there's more flow in your life. Feel that you've mastered something in your life. Mastered how you relate to other people, particularly how you flow with other people, how you vibe with other people, how you connect with other people in a very intimate way or an emotional way. Maybe because you've been too far removed from all of that, you're now seeing it's time to get back and reconnect in meaningful ways with people. There's an element here where some of you might be kind of opening up into a new love for your new perception, a new love for where you want to be in your life, which is very nice, very, very nice. And a new love too, I have to say it, a new love for making money. With Venus going into your second house, she is giving you that interest again in showing you, teaching you, allowing you to play with money, allowing you to spend your money, allowing you to bring more balance back into that whole area of your life. You could have a water sign helping you. For some of you, you could have a water sign that's Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, coming in to share their resources with you. You see, the North Node is in your 8th house of shared resources. It could be a moment where somebody, a water sign, maybe a Cancer, but any of the water signs, coming in to help you balance your finances in some way by sharing a resource with you, sharing something that they have, be it money, space, time, energy, effort, skill, talent. Maybe they want to step in and encourage you by investing in you in some way, pouring their energy into you to get you back on track. So that could be something that's happening. And you need to do this because you did get a real wake-up call, I think, at the end of January with the lunar eclipse, that you'd been stressed, full of anxiety about money, about your direction in life in general, the bigger things of this world, the big picture, your perception of relationships, of your family. There could have been a real cold water moment where you probably even said, I have been approaching this all wrong. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was behaving in a way that was noble. And it turns out I wasn't taking other people's feelings into consideration maybe, or I wasn't in tune with the nuances of what was going on. And maybe I didn't get it. And that bothers you, that you didn't get it. But you do, you wake up, Nine of Swords, you wake up to a new perception that is ultimately richer in wisdom. You're tapping in. I see it with the King of Cups on this card here. There was a little bit of disconnect between you and other people emotionally. And it's time to start feeling that out more. You're a very intuitive person, Sagittarius. You're very on the mark. But what seems to have been missing is that, you know, sometimes people do stupid things, irrational things, unreasonable things, ridiculous things, not because they're stupid, but because they're connected to something on an emotional level. And from a great distance, you might say, look at them, they're making a mess of that. But when you zoom right in and really use your intuition, really use your higher intuition, you'll see that sometimes people do these ridiculous things in their life because they're so connected, because they're so attached, because they're so involved. In many ways, because they care about things that you hadn't noticed before. So it's a real moment of coming down and seeing why people behave or feel certain ways about things in their life. And again, it's a moment where you get to see that people aren't as ridiculous as maybe you thought they are. It's because many of them are hurting, are lonely, are feeling a certain way that defies explanation, but yet is equally as important. And this is one of the big learning curves for you. This is part of your new perception, understanding why people want things. You know, you've got the new moon in Aquarius, excuse me, in the third house, where you're opening up to new people, new networks, new groups, maybe even buying and selling, business. And business will not work unless you know why people want the things that they want. Why do they need that? Why would they buy that? What is motivating or driving them to be interested in X, Y, or Z? And it's the connection, it's the feeling, it's understanding why people want the things they want, why they need the things they need, why they connect to the things that they connect with. And as I said, from a far off view, before the lunar eclipse, you would have looked down and said, that's nonsense. But zooming right in and re-engaging with them now, you say, I get it. And this is important for me to understand this. Because it does something, it kind of takes you out of a moment of feeling that you're battling against life, against people, against systems. It's like there's a real moment where you say, I don't have to fight anymore against life. I don't have to always find it so difficult. I just need to stop and use my intuition and connect more. Maybe in some cases it wasn't they who were wrong, but maybe you. I know, but I'm only saying that because I kind of get it that you are beginning to feel that. And is it about being wrong? No, it's not about right or wrong. It's about stepping into a place of understanding again. Why things have been so difficult for you was possibly because you were battling without understanding the bigger picture in some way, the real big picture. But now you can find new ways. Again, when we have sevens, we see a victory that's coming once we change tack and use diplomacy a little bit better and defend a new way of being. So this is a moment of defending, being able to confidently defend. You see, he's looking back and he's saying, I'm not fighting that battle anymore, but I am prepared to defend something new in my life. And I don't care that at the beginning it might be a bit of a challenge. It might feel like I have to shift a gear in my mind. It might feel like I have to over-explain myself to people. That it might feel that I might come at battle in some ways with people, over-shifting this gear in my life. But I can do it and I can defend it. I can now, it's almost the energy, Sagittarius, of saying, I'm shifting gear and I know I can defend all my reasons for wanting to do this. And if anybody challenges me or if anybody says, what are you doing that? Why are you leaving your career? Why are you suddenly going with new groups of people? Why are you going to study? Why are you not blah, 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 blah? You say, I don't have to explain myself. I've every right to drop the past and start defending and entering in to a new way. And I don't have to explain myself. And don't force me to explain myself, because if you force me, you might not like how I explain myself. You mightn't fare very well at the end of it. So don't challenge me in this shift of gear that I'm taking. Yeah. But also towards the end of the month here, Sagittarius, there is that real moment of expansion, expanding the water energy, the psychic energy, the tuning into how people feel energy, including yourself. How do you feel now after new connections and new understandings have come to you from a very deep and spiritual place? Quite Piscean energy here. And we are going into Pisces season this month, lots of Pisces energy. And Pisces is a challenge to you. It does rub you up the wrong way because it's always trying to get you to reconnect on a level that doesn't often sit right with you. It's what do you need? What do you feel? How does this all make you feel? And it's all a bit for you at times, but it is a moment at the end of the month where you will be sitting down, looking for that private space to think and meditate, but it's all being flooded with emotions, feelings of understanding finally why people behave in certain ways and allowing that to become now a new piece of the puzzle in your bigger, greater perception. The truth that's coming here will add to your life. Connect more emotionally and understand. It's this thing constantly saying, understand why people need the things they need. And it's because they need the things they need, that's what makes them behave certain ways. So tune into that. Now, I did say to you, towards the end of the month, this little privacy, sitting down under the shade of a tree and waiting for your Newton moment to happen, waiting for that divine inspiration. And people are coming at you with new communication, new ideas, new thoughts, new truths. In some case, a little bit of aggression at times. But believe it or not, in that space, it's you who will learn that new truth. You will learn something very powerful about yourself by the time this month ends. And new truths, just going back to that, new truths in a family situation, in a relationship, in friendships, and certainly within your whole approach to your career and work life. A new truth will come there that will make you feel, I can no longer do things the old way. I need to stand up and do things my way. You're running in a new direction, I think, with your career, Sagittarius, by the end of the month. You really want to be more independent. You want to have more decision-making abilities in your workspace. You want it to be more organized, and you want to be, like this card literally is, outstanding in his field. You want to be proud of what you know, and you want to be able to show it off, and you want to be seen as somebody respectable and somebody who can bring something intelligent and big to the table. And you can get a level of admiration this month. Absolutely. Some level of admiration this month when you are teaching, when you are sharing, when you are communicating in a meaningful way to other people. You can bring money in with this. So that's why I'm going with teaching, sharing, using your bigger wisdom, your bigger skills to make a few coin. That could happen. But more than that, it's about being more independent now, having a new perception that radically opens everything up for you. You're coming out of the dark this month, Sagittarius, and seeing the possibilities. But these are all cups, psychic possibilities, emotional possibilities. This is a magical emotional landscape opening up for you in a space that you never thought existed before. I mean, you thought you'd seen bunches of stuff. You thought you'd been there, seen that, bought the t-shirt, done the whole festival. You thought but suddenly there's a new emotional landscape that's opening up for you that brings a kind of magic to your life. It's a kind of magic that is opening up. And it's opening up because you're changing tack. You see, we have sevens. We have sevens. And these, again, as I say, are all about a victory, and a great beauty that can enter your life once you change tack and approach things from a gentler space, or from a more agreeable space, or from a more accepting space. It's kind of like you're learning to accept the things in other people and the motivations of other people that you maybe haven't seen before, but in turn, the great teacher, Sagittarius, becomes somebody who is taught something very powerful in the end by even the most humblest of people. And that's a beauty for you. That's a gift. You have 3 cards of beauty. So you're seeing this as a new beauty opening up for you. And I love that, Sagittarius. May you be blessed with the beauty of what's been opening for you this month. Now, of course, for the other details and things which didn't really expand here too much, it's of course all about the big perception with you after the lunar eclipse in the 9th house. But if you want to know more about your current relationship, if you're single, wanting to know the energy for Valentine's, if you're wanting to know more about your career, finance, or a family issue, friend issue, or anything further in general, do come to the deep read, Sagittarius. I know most of you know what to do by now. They're the VIMEO readings, and they're all linked down there below where we open the themes up. So do come and join and see what the heck can be discovered further, you know, for what's going on for you in February. My love, I'm going to leave it at that. And I really do think you're going to enjoy this learning curve. It's hitting a good place for you in your life right now in order to catapult you into bigger, better places in your future. I think this is the beginning of a new, wonderful adventure for you. And Sagittarius, you love a good adventure. So let it begin. Let the adventure begin. My beautiful, I will leave it there. And as always, I will leave you with all my love and a great big Valentine's kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my gorgeous. Bye.